there's so much opportunity out there other than just the business providing the business owner with a job.
Very much so. Very much so. And it all comes from, are you choosing to think average or are you choosing to think big?
Good morning, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend and ready to kickstart the week. This is Mindset Monday, and today we're going to be talking about average thinking. Where is average thinking getting you in your business? What would happen if you start thinking bigger about your goals? What would happen to the performance of the business? So Andy's going to give us his take on what he has done when working with business owners and how far they've managed to grow their business from average to good to great. So Andy, what's your take on this?
Yeah, so we got a pretty cool slide in Action Coach, and it's called self-sabotage, and essentially there's two numbers on it, $50,000 and $250,000.
Right.
And actually it was when Brad was growing the business and starting to franchise it out. So he wrote a job advert because he wanted a general manager for Australia. And he wrote the same advert and advertised the job for $50,000 and $250,000. Same advert.
Right.
So which one do you think got the most applications?
I would imagine. I'd have liked to have thought the 250,000.
There are only two for that.
Man.
And exponentially more for the $50,000 a year job.
Wow.
Now, why is that? Because people just don't back themselves. So, if $250,000 is out of your reference point, then some of us will automatically throw that idea away as it's not possible. Now, if you adopt that mindset into your business, what impact is that going to have on your results? So I think for me, it's a really key slide. When I meet a lot of people, they're just being content with average. They're thinking about 10% growth in their business. First of all, what happens if you miss it? That looks like a pretty terrible year, doesn't it, really? Secondly, how differently do you have to think to grow by 10%, for example, in a year? Not
much, no.
No. Is it possible to work 10% hard? Of course it is. Would you want to? Well, why would you want to? That would be the question. Because for me, we go into business to free up our life, to make more money, have more choices, have more freedom. So why are we thinking so small and creating more of the same?
Well, really, as well, if you think about it, a 10% growth in the business, if that's all you're aiming at, what happens about expenses in the business? What happens when your customers start putting their costs up? That soon eats away into your profit. So is 10% actually big enough?
Yes, 10% stands you still in most cases.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be fair, everything is changing, as you rightly say. So 10%, okay, well, quite a lot of people would set that goal, but it's just setting a goal to stay the same. Why wouldn't we be thinking exponentially bigger about what's possible here?
So what do you think then? What sort of percentage should we be aiming for?
Well, I mean, more than 10, that is for sure. But I suppose the point behind this is, if we have a look at the business and see what's actually happening right now, so there's a client that I started working with 6 months or so ago, and he was setting a goal for 10%. And I mean, really the story behind that was he wasn't excited about it. So I asked him, well, if you're that excited about it, i.e. not at all, how excited do you think your team are going to be about this? And it can only be less, can't it? And the reason for that is, he's grown the business really well and done a great job on it, and kind of disconnected from his vision. All he's thinking about now is creating more growth, but small amounts of growth. He doesn't really know where he's going, or didn't. So we've re-engaged vision, and as a result of that, we've looked at what the business is currently doing and what the opportunities are. And we've actually set a target for 60% growth.
Nice.
Nice. And actually, when we analyse what's happening in the business right now, it's pretty feasible that we'll achieve that.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think's happened to his level of excitement and his team's level of excitement as a result of setting that goal? First of all, there's some fear, of course there is, but when we actually take that number to pieces and show how it's feasible, then everybody engages with it and gets excited about it. So naturally, the results are going to change. And guess what? If they get 40%, do you think they're going to be disappointed?
Guys, we're going to take a quick break now, but we'll be tuning back in after the break to hear more from Andy. So I want you to have a quick think about, really, what sort of motivation would growing your business at a larger scale give to you and give to your business, give to your people? How engaged would people be if they were going towards bigger goals? Because if you're just thinking small, average, small percentages of growth, then what's that doing for your culture in your business as well? So we'll be back after this break.
How far are you going to take your business? The content you're learning in this video is only the tip of the iceberg. If you're ready to take your business to the next level and start implementing the right strategies that are right for you, then now is the time to book your complimentary coaching session. In the session, we explore what strategies will get you to where you want to be in the most effective way possible. Book your coaching session today. Call 01527 757 910 or visit goodtogreat.actioncoach.co.uk.
Welcome back, everybody. Okay, today we're talking about growth in business. We're talking about having that vision, that sort of how far do you want to actually take this business? And it all stems back down to our thinking, our levels of thinking, what we've grown up with, what we're used to. There's a lot of psychology involved here, so it's perfect fit for Mindset Monday. So Andy, take it away.
Yeah, I think one of the things I notice quite often in business owners is that actually, they've started their business at some point, maybe recently, maybe a while ago, and they've gone through the startup phase, and that's all about proving their concept and moving away from pain.
Yeah.
Then they get into the growth phase, and actually, growth tends to be more about better stuff, better holidays, better house, better car, all that kind of thing. But after a number of years of repeating that pattern, and that might be just sort of thinking incrementally about growth, after a number of years of repeating that pattern, what they actually start to move towards is just burnout. It's very much like the example I've just given you. This guy had stopped being excited about his business, and I think that's very, very common. I've met lots of people who aren't excited by their business anymore. So we went into business, we set it up, to give us these choices, to give us more freedom, to give us more excitement in our life potentially. And then some years down track, all we're thinking about is just reproducing the same result again or again. So for me now, because there's no big vision in place, there's no real dissatisfaction because you're kind of where you want to be. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's about, if we truly back ourselves in terms of the service we provide, don't we have a responsibility to go out to people and actually offer our service to as many people as possible? Because let's be fair, there are plenty of people in every industry who don't do a great job. But most people, most consumers aren't actually educated well enough to understand what a great job looks like. So, if you believe in yourself, if you believe you do a great job, why aren't you thinking bigger? Why aren't you taking up that mantle of responsibility to go out and actually help more people get a better service from you?
Well, you're talking now about the start with why things, aren't you?
Yeah, very much so.
Then you can start to look at legacy rather than like, this is just a job that I'm in, the business is just a job.
Yeah.
What sort of thing are you leaving behind? What are you creating? What are you building? Absolutely. I mean, you've helped businesses not just, get better and obviously give more lifestyle options for business owners, but you've also, helped businesses grow to that can be sold as well, that can be franchised. There's so much opportunity out there other than just the business providing the business owner with a job.
Very much so. Very much so. And it all comes from, are you choosing to think average or are you choosing to think big? And why wouldn't you choose to think big? Actually, sometimes it's just easier to think big because we can go from blue sky concepts and work out how to implement them and work out how to do just a little bit more.
Okay guys, we're going to wrap it up now, but I want you to be thinking for this week. This is Mindset Monday, so the idea of it really is that you go away and take some bigger actions this week. You take some bigger thoughts, you implement it into your team, you implement it into your business. So what can you be doing this week to be thinking bigger?